We're living through the busiest stretch in Disneyland Paris's 33-year history. This year alone, we've seen Disney Adventure World open, the largest expansion the resort ever had, and construction kick off on The Lion King, the next major project already underway. But the resort doesn't stop at the big stuff. In between those headline projects, there's a constant stream of smaller changes happening too. The new upride, several Disney Village additions, hotel makeovers, and more. As fans, we always want to look further ahead, and so today we're diving into rumors and speculation about what else might be coming. And with many theories out there, it's time for a major rumor roundup. Before we start, the usual warning. Everything in this video is based on information from fan forums and other sources, combined with my own speculation. These are rumors and theories, not confirmed facts, and they may or may not happen. With that said, a huge thank you to MagicFocus for much of the information I'll be building on here today. Let's start at Disney Adventure World. Currently underway is the massive Lion King ride and themed area. This ride will become the largest show building in the resort, surpassing Pirates of the Caribbean. But since that is already fully announced, our focus here is in what comes after. Some months ago, I made a couple of videos talking about the rumored third lake land. According to the information available, Disney was considering two approaches with lands themed to either Avatar or Moana. The latter has supposedly been chosen and would become the next big thing for the resort. I won't go too much into detail as you're welcome to check my full video on the subject, but the headline news is that a major new e-ticket will be built under the internal name Project Water. It's said that the land will be centered around another mountain icon of sorts, which would create a beautiful panoramic view of completely different worlds around Adventure Bay, with the Savannah Pride Rock, the snowy peak of North Mountain, and now perhaps a huge volcano or perhaps the Fiti. Either way, the views will be immaculate. When it comes to the ride, there have been several proposals, but the one leading appears to be a water coaster of sorts with large dark ride sections. In the video I speculated that it could perhaps be a similar ride system as Mission Bermuda's from Futuroscope, which incorporates both rapids and boat sections and roller coaster moments, although that's just speculation on my side. The land is meant to be well in development and could be announced just before The Lion King opens. I could see it happening during D23 2028, as I believe Lion King will be completed by 2029. The rumor also adds that the land is supposed to join the fold by the resort's 40th anniversary in 2032, so an announcement in 2028 with a 3-year construction time starting in 2029 could truly work perfectly. This is obviously still a few years into the future, so let's now focus on something closer to us. Disney has been renovating several rides in the past few years, while also adding to them. Ratatouille reopened this year after a several-month-long break with additions in several scenes, a new queue-themed area, and other technical upgrades. Next up should be Crush's Coaster, which is turning almost 20. This somewhat infamous coaster is set to receive a lot of care, both technically and when it comes to the theming. First of all, it's said that the ride will receive a complete technical refurbishment, that is, the ride system itself. The theming inside will be completely renovated with repainting all the set pieces in the dark ride section, and the coaster part, which is basically a big dark box with some attempts at projections, will also receive brand new elements with new projections and effects to better simulate the East Australian current. Outside, the building will also receive some changes to better fit the new concept of the park, including but not exclusive to the removal of the Studio 5 number in the top and the repainting of the rockwork. When it comes to the queue, I really hope a major change is in store, but there hasn't been anything said regarding it. However, the space to the left of Crush's, where you can currently meet Pixar pals, should be on the chopping block, supposedly replaced by a relaxing area possibly carrying the Nemo theme. Depending on what happens here, I think these small changes could really add up and better the experience guests have in that older section of Worlds of Pixar. Of course, the Toy Story characters we can meet there will have to find a new home, and it's said that the usually closed toy store at the back of Toy Story Playland may become a new meet and greet location to replace this one. This is set to happen soon, and we could see an announcement during D23 as the ride is meant to close right after the summer for its major refurbishment. Close by lie two theater venues, the large Animagique Theater where Mickey and the Magician reside, and the Animation Celebration, which was converted into the larger interactive theater experience with Frozen that shut its doors not long ago. While rumors circulated that a new show would replace Frozen with whispers of Moana or The Little Mermaid, now the conversation has shifted significantly. It looks like the space might actually change its purpose and become a large indoors meet and greet area, something that the parks need more of. In my opinion, it makes sense. Disney Adventure World already has so many different shows and venues, with two similar very large theaters playing Mickey and the Magician and Together, the other slightly smaller one with Dream Factory, and in the back, the huge yet for the time being closed stunt arena. Now, I would personally love to see something similar to what Hollywood Studios is opening with Magic of Disney Animation, a large indoors area with all kinds of experiences for kids, meet and greets, and the drawing area. It's something that this park seriously needs more and is often overlooked. Hopefully we can get some news regarding this very soon. Also, Mickey the Magician, which I've said a couple of times already, is rumored to get an upgrade with revised effects and maybe even new scenes based on iconic Disney films. We'll leave Adventure World for now, as while a lot appears to be happening here, it's just a part of the resort. Disney Village is, as you probably know, undergoing a massive transformation, completely renovating the old parts of the shopping, dining, and entertainment district of the resort. Well, as works continue happening, we're now reaching the second phase of the transformation, the south side, which includes the cinemas, Billy Bob's, Starbucks, the Steakhouse, Rainforest Cafe, and others. While Casa Julia is set to open this year, there are whispers that Rainforest might close its doors for good. Both restaurants are operated by Bertrand Hospitality, a third party that also has Brasserie Rosalie and managed Planet Hollywood. Some time ago, it was said that Rainforest was set to be demolished but rebuilt. That has now seemingly evolved into just its removal and replacement, which, while disappointing, makes some sense when you consider the third party managing it has to pay royalty fees to the American company. Either way, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening here. The cinemas are set to undergo a renovation of their own, focusing on the facade and lobby. This could happen soon as Pathé, the cinema chain, hopes to bring its branding to this location as well. The completion of the second phase of the Disney Village makeover could be aimed at 2029, opening alongside Lion King. This would be when the third phase is set to commence, which will include the large expansion with a brand new area by McDonald's all the way to Five Guys on the other side. The expansion will be joined by a brand new hotel close by too. Disneyland Paris has had new hotels proposed for many locations, but rumors are ramping up regarding the area previously occupied by the Events Arena, which was demolished some time ago. The hotel here would be either 4 or 5 stars, and I imagine to be placed between New York and Disneyland in terms of service and, of course, prices. When it comes to its theme, there haven't been any whispers, but I would love to see a hotel themed around Hollywood or LA, which would continue the concept of a road trip around the US the other hotels already have. Speaking of, Sequoia Lodge has begun its renovation works, and according to a survey Disney sent to guests, it appears that Newport Bay Club will follow. The theme will remain similar, and I expect this will happen in phases, remaining open throughout the works just like Sequoia. One of the additions expected is a new immersive bar similar to the Skyline Bar in the Hotel New York. With Disney Adventure World slowly getting up to speed with the Disneyland Park, especially after Lion King and whatever comes after arrives, it will be the time for the original to shine. However, today our rumors take us on a different route. Space Mountain is often regarded as the savior of Disneyland Paris, but fact is, it came in to save the park more than once. Space Mountain Mission 2 was sold as a brand new ride to the public. What it effectively did was bring a new story with newly created soundtrack, effects, and changes to the original ride. That while it unfortunately removed much of the original idea and connection to the theme, it still kept the same concept and made sense where it was placed. This came at a very important time in the resort and brought a renewed interest in the park and land. Then came Hyperspace Mountain, which was meant as a temporary overlay that has since overstayed its welcome for several years. Well, this is that kind of rumor that basically never goes away, but behind the scenes, things are reportedly actually shifting this time, as Imagineering gets ready to bring yet another mission to Discovery Land. What we do know is that the coaster itself is in need of a real renovation, and so are many of the theming elements, with the cannon being the worst. Last year, a completely redesigned lighting package and painting brought back a lot of the life to the beautiful show building, and now the inside could be the one to finally receive its much-needed renovation. According to the information available, we could be looking at a closure in the second half of 2027 and a very long renovation, only reopening alongside Lion King sometime in 2029. If this comes to be, that timeline alone gets me incredibly excited for whatever Imagineering is cooking up, especially with Michel Dendolk now leading the teams, with this possibly being his first major non-IP based project in the resort. Make sure to watch my video covering the changes in leadership at both the Walt Disney Company and Disneyland Paris and how that might affect the Parisian parks to learn more about the people taking the reins. Next year, the resort will come alive to celebrate its 35th anniversary, and it has everything to be yet another major hit with guests as the 30th was. It's believed that entertainment will obviously see the most investment for the celebration, with new acts possibly joining the fold, with a new show in the hub area, and finally using the newly renovated castle stage, kicking off the celebrations in the first months of the year. Then we can expect Wilderness Explorer's Sky Swings, the new Up-inspired addition to Disney Adventure World that will not only add some amazing kinetic energy to the land, but also new viewpoints overlooking the entire lake and surrounding areas. The newly renovated Crush's Coaster is supposed to open in the summer during the celebrations, and the parks will also receive 35th anniversary decorations with smaller activations taking place throughout the day. During 2028, for the 35th Extended, the Princess Cavalcade that will start making its way around Disney Adventure World could be expanded with new floats, as well as a reopening of the new edition of Mickey and the Magician. This year, in a few months, Disney will be hosting the D23 Expo, where many updates and announcements are expected for the different Disney parks around the world. Personally, I try to never expect too much for Disneyland Paris, but I could see this year being a good one for the Parisian resort, with news regarding Lion King, Disney Village, Crush's Coaster, and perhaps even Space Mountain. However, if that doesn't happen, next April 12th would be the second best time for many of these possible announcements. Next week, I'll upload a brand new major construction update video covering all the projects underway in the resort. So make sure to subscribe as not to miss that. Either way, now I ask you, what do you think of this rumor roundup? And what would you like to see happen most? Let me know down below. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.